Philadelphia. Welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel, where our mission in life is keeping great radio from the past alive. And today, we're featuring a legendary jock who was big in Philadelphia. His name, Jim Nettleton. Back at the beginning of the pop explosion at WFIL in the mid-1960s, Jim Nettleton was there, and he spent time at a bunch of radio stations around Philadelphia. WCAU-FM. He was on WPEN. WUSL. He was there too, and spent time when it was oldies, 98 WOGL. And in addition to all the work that Jim Nettleton did in Philadelphia, he also spent time on the air in New York at 77 WABC. He was on air at 1050 Chum in Toronto, and he was also vice president of operations and morning man at WDAE Tampa. He just had a friendly sound, and people just loved him. So if you've never had a chance to hear him, let's check him out. It's Jim Nettleton.
WFIL, Philadelphia, where the hits keep coming 24 hours a day.
I just about 62, wasn't I? And we're further back. All of a sudden, I feel a little older. 501 of the Jim Nettleton Show. George Michael downstairs from 4 to 6. Collect petitions. Keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Jay of the Techniques, number 5 weekly, and the 5th bestseller on the Daily Survey. The Daily Survey of the top 5 countdown we do every day. It's 5:03. WFIL Break the Bank time here on the Jim Nettleton Show. Call Super Sue at CO38956. Remember, let's not forget all about Sue. He's taking the request for George Michael for tonight, and the countdown at 7 o'clock. Okay, CO38956. Here it goes.
Diamond Jim Nettleton, WFIL.
Still haven't got that raise through for her, but we have a lot of hopes for the future. That sounds like the standard line. Here's number 4.
I saw her sitting in the rain.
Rain, the park, and other things with the cow sales here at WFIL Philadelphia. Weekly happens to be on the survey number 14, but on the daily top 5 countdown, number 4 today. Been up in the top 5 just about every day, I guess, since we started the last week. Had the second week on it. 5:07, break the bank time.
Magical Mystery Tour, the new Capitol LP by the Beatles. On this Magical Mystery Tour, you'll hear...
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. All you need is love.
Plus, many more great sounds to blow your mind. And a 24-page full-color Beatles picture book comes free with the LP. Another great LP now available on Capitol Records is Wild Honey, the Beach Boys. On this LP, you'll hear sounds that come alive, like the Beach Boys' new smash hit, Darlin'. Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles and Wild Honey by the Beach Boys. Get 'em now!
Here goodbye, the latest Beatles Capitol record hit, Magical Mystery Tour. Another Capitol LP, Wild Honey by the Beach Boys. Better record stores every place.
WFIL 56.
It's the Soul Survivors telling it like it is for Wellington Car Stereo.
The best way to travel any expressway is by surrounding yourself with sound. And Wellington Car Stereo sucks it to you from all sides. Make your wheels a music machine, and don't forget, the Soul Survivors love you.
Wellington Car Stereo Center, just like the stars. Know all there is to know about sound, so take some sound advice and get on over to Wellington. Yes, get yourself a groovy stereo player and 2 speakers for only $39.95. That's right, $39.95. And Wellington stands behind every stereo they sell with a lifetime written guarantee. Wellington is the world's largest and only complete car stereo center. Every artist, every label, every sound is on stereo tape. You name it, Wellington's got it. So get with what's happening. Get together with Car Stereo and surround yourself with sound. Wellington, the stereo of the stars.
Hey, this week's special, any mamas and papas tape for $3.50, $3.50. Makes the best Christmas gift. The Wellington Car Stereo Centers, 18th and Cheltenham, Castor and Tyson, North Old and above Prospect and Trenton, 69th Street, 7017 Westchester Pike as well. 509. Let's break the bank time. I'm going to make a call in just a little bit. For $146, if you can know the total, you're going to get yourself that amount of loot. Simple as that.
I'll just take your glasses.
One of the things that nobody ever talks about being a girl is the waiting. You wait for boys to notice you're a girl. You wait for one of them to ask you to dance, to hold your hand, to kiss you. You wait till he asks you to marry him. Then you wait for him to come home at night. Why don't you wait in ambush? Ambush Perfume by Dana. Canoué, de Cologne from France.
for men who aren't kids anymore.
Canoe is a strange, salty scent and a quiet taste.
Would it suit you?
When you have decided, only then will you need to know that canoe is pronounced canoe, not canoe.
Canoe by Dana.
56 for cats.
Sure puts down a lot of Indians, isn't it? It'll be fair tonight and tomorrow. Low about 40. The high tomorrow will be up around 58 or so. And the present WFIL temp 50 on the Jim Nettleton Friday scene. Checking in on the second bestseller slot of the day.
You say yes, I say no.
Beatles do.
Say so. WFIL News.
Denials and still more denials on any possible sale of the Philadelphia Eagles. This story makes WFIL News. For 56, Larry Kane reports. There were conflicting reports this afternoon on pro football's Philadelphia Eagles. Reports had said the Eagles had been sold to a New York businessman, Norman Robb, for $14.5 million. The Eagles front office, through Vice President Joe King, tells 56 News the Eagles have not been sold. Owner Jerry Woolman said previously he would not sell the team. Robb denied that sale of the club had been completed, a similar denial from the National Football League headquarters in New York City. A suit has been filed against Philadelphia General Hospital by the widow of a Philadelphia police officer. Dave Racher reports for 56 News.
The widow of Police Captain Richard T. Edwards, who died last year, has filed a civil suit against Philadelphia General Hospital and physicians who attended her husband. The disclosure was made today by her attorney, Robert N.C. Nix, Jr., before a special councilmanic committee investigating alleged mistreatment of police and firemen at PGH. Nix said the suit charges the hospital and doctors with malpractice. It was Captain Edwards' death that touched off the investigation. Mrs. Frances Edwards and the estate of the captain are asking for a settlement in excess of $5,000. Another witness, Mrs. Barbara Langford, whose husband, Officer Paul Langford, died this past July, also disclosed that she has retained counsel and might file litigation against the hospital, too. Although several doctors were present at the hearing, they didn't testify on the specifics involved in the case because of the litigation. In both cases, the policemen were not admitted to the hospital when they were initially there for treatment. Committee Chairman Joseph Hurst said today's hearing was the last for the investigators. A full report, along with recommendations, will be submitted to council next week. Dave Racher of the Daily News, WFIL City Hall.
An auditor's report shows that the operating budget at PGH jumped $3 million over the three-year period from 1963 to 1966. William Campbell arrived in Lower Merion Township this afternoon to face charges in the stabbing death of socialite sportsman William Thompson. Campbell is charged with the fatal stabbing of a mainline sportsman Thanksgiving Day in Lower Merion. Judge Joseph Gold has announced that he'll ask the Philadelphia Bar Association to take disciplinary action against District Attorney Arnold Spector, a result of Spector's office asking that Gold disqualify himself from a murder trial in progress at City Hall. The Pennsylvania State Education Association has posed the possibility of a statewide teacher strike because of what it calls the failure of the administration of Governor Schaefer to come up with a teacher pay raise increase this year. A 26-year-old Sollerton man killed today in a one-car crash in Hilltown Township near Doylestown of Bucks County. The dead man, Terry R. Goodchall. According to officers, Goodchall's car ran off Route 309 at County Line Road and struck a pole. Well, tomorrow is the big day at the White House. Linda Burr Johnson and Marine Captain Charles Robb will be married. WFIL microphones were in Washington as Robb answered the question, did he have any trouble asking for Linda's hand in marriage?
I think basically, although we had not planned it this way, we were a bit fortunate in that Linda, in an effort to tell her mother during on the evening that we became engaged, ended up telling her father, or giving her father an inclination of what was up, so to speak. So when I did actually ask the president for Linda's hand in marriage, I didn't go in cold turkey. I had an opportunity, or he had the opportunity to know what I was there for, and I think that probably made it a little bit easier.
Marine Captain Charles Robb, the night before the big wedding.
WFIL News.
We were in the neighborhood, and I said Phil would never forgive us if we didn't drop in on him. Dad, I'd like you to meet my college graduating class.
These people look familiar, but I think you're right, dear. We're at the wrong party.
nice surprise, George, Charlie, Gail. Oh, the hazards of staying home for the holidays. To all of you brave souls who risk it, we suggest you buy an extra case of Carling Black Label beer. Carling calls it the just-in-case case. Just in case you find you're the only one who stayed home for the holidays.
56 forecast.
Tonight and tomorrow, fair skies. The low 40, the high 53. Winds are at 8. The WFIL temperature is 50. For WFIL News, Larry Kane reporting. Next news, 5:45.
WFIL Philadelphia. Jim Nettleton.
Snoopy's Christmas hottest record around, and it's number one on the daily top 5 countdown today.
News had come out in the First World War.
And the Royal Guardsmen and the entire chorus of trained seals there. That's up at 12 this week. Snoopy's Christmas, number one on the daily top 5 countdown at 5:24.
A pretty lady and her Chevrolet, her silent Chevrolet. Do 100 errands as she rushes through the day. With her silent partner, her silent Chevrolet.
My silent partner. My Chevrolet gives me peace and quiet, and in my busy life, it really helps.
A pretty lady and her Chevrolet, her silent Chevrolet. 56 forecast.
50 outside, going to be favorable tonight and tomorrow. The low about 40 or so. Nowhere near freezing. No frost tonight. High about 53. Winds are blowing at 8.
When you sip on some soup, have Campbell's chicken. They're twice as nice. Campbell's chicken.
This is no double talk. Every one of Campbell's chicken soups is made with not one, but 2 chicken stocks. One for richness, one for flavor. So they're just plain more chickeny than chicken soup by any other name. Campbell's chicken. When you think twice about chicken soup, you'll buy Campbell's chicken with rice.
It's my show, fellow. You want to come back again, you do the commercial my way. 5:25, 8:06, a winner this morning on the Jay Cook Show. Mr. James Corcoran from Daventry Road in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. $806. Have 146 in the jackpot right now. If you have any petitions for the high school cover girl contest, George Michael is going to be downstairs up till 6 o'clock, about 35 more minutes. You can bring them in to him, and we'll do the tallying over the weekend, let you know what happens.
Every year about this time, everyone tells you to do your Christmas shopping early. And every year you say you will, and still wait until the last minute. This year, if you're sending Christmas flowers to family or friends, repeat after me. I promise to call my FTD florist today and order my Christmas flowers. When you keep your promise, your FTD florist can save you money on your out-of-town orders. And he'll promise you the most beautiful holiday arrangements ever.
There goes the delivery one right now. 5:26, West Coast Sound of the Beach Boys.
We'll find my 409.
Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Flip side of Servant Safari had a 2-sider on that one a few years ago. Great oldie sound on 409. 5:28 of the Jim Nettleton Show. $146 of the jackpot. Break the back time.
When you're planning for the holidays and figuring expenses, don't sell your power short. Borrowing power. You've got borrowing power at Domestic Finance for holiday expenses.
Domestic Finance will be open for your convenience Saturdays till 1 p.m. up to Christmas time.
WFIL.
From the Indy to Le Mans, STP. The champions depend upon STP. They pour it in and pour it on. STP is the racer's edge. Following the racer's tracks, STP. Get all the power your engine packs, STP. Old or new, your car reacts to STP. The racer's edge.
STP oil treatment keeps any car engine, old or new, running smoother, cooler, quieter, longer. Have your service station crew add STP to your oil and keep your car running racer sharp.
STP is the racer's edge.
WFIL, Philadelphia, where the hits keep coming 24 hours a day.
5:29 on the Jim Nettleton Show. CO38956. Call Super Snoop. Second night of motion with the miracles. Half a dozen this week. Number 6 this week, 532.
WFIL Future 6.
Looking ahead with a great sound from the Lemon Pipers. This is Green Tambourine, CO38956. Number to call, Super Soup, with the request of George Michael tonight for his top 10 countdown, the top 10 requests, which you will hear him play back this evening. My Green Tambourine, which is gas with my purple ocarina. Yeah, it goes very well. Lemon Pipers there, Future 6 side at 535 here at Radio 1. That's break the bank time, and it is 146 in the total there. And if you know that total when we call you, you're going to win it.
And now the Girl Watchers theme.
After that.
Music to watch girls by. Half the people in this world are girl watchers. That's why the girls Girl Watchers watch drink Diet Pepsi Cola with only 1 calorie. Diet Pepsi. Try it. Someone will be watching.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Pepsi-Cola going to pour it on Saturday night at Honolulu and Conshohocken, PA with exciting Jay and the Techniques. Now, if you're a teenager anywhere in Delaware Valley, you can't afford to miss this big one-night attraction. You'll see and hear Jay and the Techniques sing and keep the ball rolling. Plenty of fun, excitement, Pepsi-Cola too for everybody. Be there at 8 o'clock. This Saturday, Honolulu and Conshohocken, make it for the show. 50 outside, good-looking Friday. Glad to have you with us.
Hello, out there in Radio Land. Once again, yours truly, the Gator, Jerry Bladder here again with another big-time reminder. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock, I'm going down the Sears with the young teenagers that you see in the big-time TV song storybook. Big-time guest stars are going to be with me. And dig this, our TV song storybook tomorrow, only down there at Sears in Camden, New Jersey on Admiral Wilson Boulevard, is going to be selling for just $3.29. Why don't you come on down there? That's tomorrow afternoon, boy. It's a big album. You can have it for just $3.29. I'll be there with a big show from 1 up until 3. That's in Camden, New Jersey at Sears. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
WFIL, more music.
I knew it would happen sooner or later. $146 in the jackpot. Going to make a call for that in just a little bit. And if you know the total, we're going to give the money to you. Okay, we have the top 5 for today. Snoopy's Christmas was number 1. Hello, Goodbye was number 2. Judy in Disguise number 3. Rain Park and Other Things number 4. And Keep the Ball Rolling number 5. Just keep you up to date in case you missed it. Soul Survivors here. 43 this week from the Soul Survivors. Great follow-up to Expressway to Your Heart. 5:38 here at Radio 1 of the Jim Nettleton Show. Wind and View on this Friday afternoon in Philly. And George Michael is downstairs accepting those petitions. Have a few minutes left if you happen to be nearby and you haven't got yours in yet. Up till 6 o'clock, George Michael will be down there in the lobby accepting the petitions. I imagine you can bring him in a little later than that, too, even though George will not be there. But if you get a little hung up time-wise, make sure you get him in, though, tonight, okay?
When people talk about the gay 90s, they weren't thinking of the straight-edge razor, because it could really cut. It's no wonder beards were popular. During World War I, the Army issued the first safety razors, and most men went from cuts to nicks. Then in the late 20s, the first electric shaver came along. It didn't cut, but it could irritate. Today, we've come from cuts to nicks to irritation to the safety shaver by Remington. With the safety dial, it raises the shaver heads to 4 different positions. All you do is dial the most comfortable one. Men have waited a long time for the Remington Selectro, but if you work it right, you could have one by Christmas. Around $16.
Hey, you can find your Remington Selectro shaver at Dee's Discount Store, Melrose Jewelers, and Parker Jewelers. Drop in and get a couple, huh?
56 forecast.
Gladly. Looks good for tomorrow. Fair for the title game for tomorrow. Low 40 for tonight. A high 53 for tomorrow. Present WFIL temp at 5-0 in the nose.
Touch the petal of a rose.
Touch your skin with rose water and glycerin in New Petal Beauty Bar.
Pedal is here. The new complexion bar with the moisture of rose water and glycerin.
New Petal Beauty Bar.
Bathe in softness. Bathe in fragrance with rose water and glycerin. Then touch the petal of a rose. Touch your skin. When you can't tell them apart, that's petal.
Touch the petal of a rose.
Touch your skin with rose water and glycerin in New Petal Beauty Bar.
Nothing does it quite like the petal touch.
True, very, very true. Remember that if you're heading up the Schuylkill Expressway on your way home, right? You got to think pleasant thoughts. Here's number 19. Beautiful people. Kenny O'Dell at number 19 this week at WFIL Philadelphia. Hey, Christmas. Good to know that you get borrowing power at Domestic Finance. To see the white pages of the telephone directory for the office nearest you. 5:43 on the Jim Nettleton Show. Heading home time here at WFIL with 146 bills in the jackpot, for which we might be calling you Brothers 2 Big Smash.
WFIL News. Murder suspect William Campbell returned from Miami. This story headlines WFIL News. 456, Dick Kelman reports. Mainline police take into custody the man suspected of killing William Thompson. The story now from WFIL Bureau Chief Roy Nassau.
Just 2 weeks to the day after the nude and battered body of a mainline socialite was discovered at his Haverford apartment, the 24-year-old drifter police say is the killer is back in the jurisdiction of Lower Merion Township authorities. William Martin Campbell III was returned from Miami, Florida today in the custody of 3 detectives. The slim, well-dressed youth was rushed from the airport to an undisclosed spot for further questioning. The victim of the knife slaying on Thanksgiving Day was William B. Thompson, 50. It's expected that young Campbell will be arraigned in Lower Merion Township later this evening. Roy Nassau, WFIL News, the main line.
A 19-year-old South Philadelphia youth held without bail for grand jury action on charges of raping 2 women and committing a number of burglaries in the 2300 block of Locust. The suspect, Albert R. Harris of 16th near South. Conflicting reports today on pro football's Philadelphia Eagles. The report said the Eagles had been sold to a New York businessman, Norman Robb, for $14.5 million. But the Eagles front office said, through Vice President Joe King, the Eagles have not been sold. Governor Hughes of New Jersey today underwent successful surgery at University of Pennsylvania Hospital in Philadelphia for removal of a cataract from his left eye. A cataract from the governor's left eye was removed on November 29th. The Pennsylvania State Education Association today posed the possibility of a statewide teacher strike because of a failure of the administration of Governor Raymond Shaver to come up with a teacher pay increase this year. A 26-year-old Souderton man killed early today in a one-car crash in Hill Township near Doylestown in eastern Pennsylvania. Police say the dead man is R. Terry Godshall. About 300 weary and footsore Glassboro State College students, most of them girls, marched into Fort Dix military installation shortly before noon to deliver a giant Christmas card for American servicemen in Vietnam. The United States, in a carefully worded statement, says the Viet Cong should not be welcomed at the United Nations unless their mission is an official one. WFIL microphones in Washington, as State Department spokesman Robert McCloskey said,
"We would not oppose representatives of the NLF presenting their views to the United Nations when they are officially invited for official business. The question of the National Liberation Front coming to the United Nations under an official invitation is, of course, totally different from any question of their entering the United States for propaganda purposes."
Democratic Senator William Fulbright has again used the Senate floor to criticize administration Vietnam policy. More than 130 persons were arrested in New York on the 4th day of anti-draft demonstrations. And a Peruvian airliner with 60 passengers aboard is reported missing between 2 Peruvian cities.
WFIL News.
Dear Santa, is there a place that you know where Christmas budgets grow? Some fabulous shop where I can make just one stop and find everything there for the people I care for. Santa, where have you been shopping for years?
Sears. Sears has toasters, roasters, dryers, and fryers, bracelets with charms, and clocks with alarms, gifts for sister, dad, and brother, and nobody knows how many gifts for mother. Sears has silverware, chinaware, underwear, and outerwear, jeans for teens and in-betweens, toys on the floor and toys on the shelf. Why, Sears has Santa Claus himself. Sears has refrigerators, radiators, tabulators, percolators, tools and stools and swimming pools, dolls that drink and mink that's pink. Why, Sears even has the kitchen sink.
Did you say Ming?
56 forecast.
Tonight and tomorrow, fair. Low overnight 40, high tomorrow 53. The wind at 8. The WFIL temperature 50. This is Dick Kelman reporting for WFIL. Next news, 6:15.
WFIL Philadelphia. Jim Nettleton.
5:49 here at WFIL Philadelphia, 146 in the jackpot. Gonna make one more call before my tenure is through this evening and see if we can give it away.